So you've done it. You've landed on a new planet, and all you have is your suit, your life, and your survival kit in your survival pod. What do you do next? Greetings and salutations, Relaxed Gamer Nation, and welcome to a new series, I hope? What to do when you end up on a planet, or starting on a planet, or when you first start. Yes, there we go. Now, I have set up this planet with basic defaults. So we have progression on, slow well speed, etc. I didn't change anything. I didn't add any mods. Now what? Well, if you're like most players, you have no idea what to do. Like, okay, I have this thing. What am I supposed to do now? Where am I supposed to go from here? Well, it's quite simple. You build. Yes, you do. Now, oh, wait, I don't have any materials. How do I get more materials? How do I get materials? I have no materials. So how do I get more materials in order to actually start building things? Well, I'm glad you asked. You dig. Yep, that's about it. Now, if you're lucky, you may have landed in an area like this, where we actually have an ample amount of ice just over there. We're in a warmer climate. We have stone relatively easily available. And there. But if you haven't ended up here, and you have jetpacks on, which you should, because that's part of the default settings, you need to dig down. Now, let me go across this. Now, you have a couple of things here. You have loud sounds, and you have these little pieces of stone. You drill more, you get some more stone. You drill more, you get more stone, etc. But once you get that stone, you gotta put it into your survival kit. Like so. From there, you go to your survival kit and you click ingots. Like that. Now, this is going to require 100 stone per packet of ingots. So that's a lot of frickin' stone. And I only got a small amount off of the surface. Well, from here, you want to get as many materials out as possible, as many of these ingot packets, because each one of these ingot packets are going to give you iron, silicon, and nickel. So the best thing to do is either just keep on clicking this, like that, or if you hold the shift key and click, that'll give you 100. If you hold the control key and click, that'll give you 10. If you hold the shift and control key, that'll give you 1,000. So what I like to do is I like to max this out, maybe put about 10,000 ingots in there. So whenever I'm loading stuff into the survival kit, it's automatically turning it into ingots. It's something you don't have to worry about at the very beginning. So you've done that. And, well, this surface stuff is, it doesn't give a lot of materials. It's like 59 here, another 72 here, etc., right? Well, if you drill down, you have two functions on the drill. You have your left-click drill, which allows you to get your materials, and your right-click drill, which basically destroys materials. So if you go to here, you say you landed on sand or on green or on ice in the icy biomes, way over somewhere that way. The best thing to do is to just drill straight down. Now, this is probably not such a great idea if you're using no jetpacks, but drilling straight down, if you're going basic materials, basic settings, is probably the best thing to do here. And keep on going down until you see the rock layer, which I will show you in a moment here, once I actually come across it. Ooh, it is a deep... Now we're in a dark, dank hole. If you press L, you will be able to turn on your lights. And it looks like we are pretty close. We're still in the sand layer, so we got to go down a little further. And keep on going down. There we go. So, once you get down to this point, you see this change in texture. This stuff is going to give you a lot more materials than this stuff. So if I click once, right? Or actually click multiple times. Just keep on clicking. There we go. So now you're getting stone. Lots of stone. So we got 215 stone out of this one hit. So it's more efficient to actually dig down a bit more until you hit stone layer, because then you get 200, 100 plus typically of stone, 217, etc. And then just use your jetpack, which your default key is X if you're playing on PC. I'm not sure what it is on Xbox. You come up here and you drop the stone that you just got into your survival kit. Now, the way I did that is with the build helper, I think it is. Build planner. So if you shift middle mouse click, alt middle mouse click, it will deposit all of your components in your inventory into the selected container. If you shift click, it'll pull out all the materials that you have for, say, a block. Take, for example, I want a block. If I middle mouse button click, I get some blocks. If I shift click, shift middle mouse, it'll put it into the inventory so I can pull it out and build a block. Now, steel blocks. There are 2 blocks that you have access to. Actually, I don't have access to anything other yet because I have progression mode on. Progression mode requires us to hit certain milestones under progression here to get certain other things. I typically don't play with progression mode. I find it's just a fake way of extending the gameplay, if you would. But steel blocks are not ideal for component use. On my right here, you see components and required. So components, there are steel plates. That's the only component. That's the easy part about it. 5 steel plate and 20 steel plate. So 25 steel plate in order to build 1 block. What I suggest people do is build interior walls. Now, they require interior blocks. So we have our light armor block, which requires a bunch of steel plate. And the steel plate ate up pretty much all our materials here. So now we got to go down, mine some more, bring it back up, etc. This is going to be a constant battle. I'm going to mine a little bit, and I will bring you back in a moment once I get a sufficient amount of materials for comparison reasons. So give me a moment. Okay, we are back, and we grabbed a bunch of materials. I did about 3 or 4 trips down into the hole, grabbed a bunch of steel, and I have... I got about 40 stone left in here. Now, when you're refining stone, it's going to turn into gravel, nickel, and silicon. Nickel, silicon, and iron, sorry. So that's gravel, Ni for nickel, Si for silicon, Fe for iron. These are part of the periodic table. So you get materials out of it. Now, a thing about material efficiency, just as a thing here, The light armor block, it requires 20 steel plates and 5 steel plates, so 25 steel plates in total. And the interior wall uses 10 and 25 interior plates. Okay, so you're thinking, numbers-wise, the steel plate actually uses less materials. Yes, it does. But it uses more resources. While the construction components, interior plates, and construction components, yes, there's 10 more additional components required for this, but they're actually cheap components. Let me show you here. So for steel plates, each steel plate uses 7 iron ingots per 1 steel plate. That may not seem like much. So for 25 steel plates, we need 7 iron times 25. So it costs 175 steel plates, 175 iron ingots in order to make 1 steel plate. So 1 steel plate, 175 ingots. On the other hand, our interior wall uses 25 interior plates and 10 construction components. So let's take a look at this. Interior plates. Whoa, look at that. 1 iron per interior plate. Okay, cool. What about the construction components? How much do those cost? So right now we're looking at 25 iron ingots just for 1 interior plate. And construction components will require 10 of these at 2.67 per. So if we go to my little calculator, 2.67 times 10 is, okay, 26.7. I didn't need a calculator for that, but you know how you get used to that stuff. So in total, we're looking at 51.7 iron ingots, because these still use iron ingots, but they use less iron ingots. So 51.7 iron ingots for a completed interior block compared to 175 iron ingots for a completed light armor block. Now, you don't need to complete a block in order to put stuff on it. But resources are scarce at the very beginning here because you're only dealing with rock, which doesn't seem so great. So the next step that you do from here, once you start getting your base down, I'm going to go into creative mode here just to quicken this up a bit. But once you get your base down, you need power. Power is going to require a couple of things. What we are doing right now is we're building a little tower for turbines.
Fuel low.
My fuel is low, whatever.
Fuel critical.
Let's just do something like this. Do that. And let's put this on like a pillar block. Do we have access to the pillar block? Yes, we do. Now, you want to go at least 7 blocks up. Then you build a turbine on top of that. So this is your basic powers. You want to get this up and running before you start putting anything down on the base. This is a lot easier to do when you have a wind turbine or have a jetpack. And these pillar blocks, well, you wouldn't be able to build these at the beginning. So you'd probably go with just scaffolding, steel plates, or whatever. Because they use steel tubes in order to do this. Though you could build the pillar blocks without finishing it with the steel tubes. So you could build pillar blocks right off. I think they also require an unlock here. Oh, I'm out of hydrogen. So let's talk about hydrogen. Hydrogen is our jet fuel. Oxygen is what we breathe. These require ice in order to turn into these particular items. Ice, we have plenty amounts because we have a small little ice lake just over here, which is great. The closer we get to ice, the faster we can get off the planet. And the more stuff we can do with, well, the more we can fly around on our jetpacks. So once we have our little tower done, okay, so this would have cost let's say, that's loud. Again, we're going to go into creative mode. So for this little bit, we used 3 interior plates and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 interior plates for that. And this has to be completed. So that's a lot of interior plates, motors, etc. All of this stuff we can build in the survival kit. I'll just show you quickly here. Production, motors we can build, girders we can build, construction components, computers, interior plates. These are everything we can build. We could even build a little solar panel if we wanted. But we wouldn't be able to complete it without the bulletproof glass. So everything with exception to the bulletproof glass, we can build out of the survival kit. So no matter if you're on a planet with lots of sun, a planet with minimal sun, and lots of air, or a planet with both. Talk to you about the sun. If you start on defaults, it's going to turn to darkness in about a half hour. Sorry, 2 hours is your standard. So at the hour mark, it'll turn to darkness. And then your solar panel is useless. However, your wind turbine will still be good. So it's a good idea to plan for that. The wind turbine... Oh, I don't have build vision on. Control panel right here. We'll just put this on the side somewhere. That's not fair. Sure, whatever. So the solar panel right now is putting out 125 kilowatts. Our wind turbine is putting out 424 kilowatts. So that's a big difference. You need about 4 of these, 3 to 4 of these, in order to make one wind turbine. And the wind turbine changes according to how high you have it off the ground. 7 is the optimal height. If you go way too far, it's going to reduce the reduce its optimal capability. And if you go far down, it's going to reduce your optimal capability. So down here on ground level, wind turbine number 2 is only doing 200 kilowatts. So poor wind clearance. I have a video all about that. You can check my channel and find it. So now we have this. We have our a few items here for our base, right? Our blocks are probably not completed. Now we want to get into more advanced stuff. We want to actually be able to drive around and find materials. Well, that's going to be a completely different video. However, what you need to consider is you need a couple items here. You need a basic assembler. Basic assembler only has 1 connection point, so figure out where you want to put it. I'm just going to put it right here. And you can transfer your survival kit, over to here with the addition of several steel plates. So once you get that, I'm just going to put it here. Now you are ready to move on into the big leagues. This is all you need: power, survival kit, and a basic assembler to start building a rover, which we'll go into in another episode here. You need a lot of materials. That's what the survival kit's for. Now, you might notice that in addition to a survival kit, there is this basic refinery. Now, do not use these. The survival kit, do not use these for stone. Period. Do not use them for stone. They will eat up about 20% of your stone. Will just go poof, disappear. Your survival kit is your better choice, unless they've changed it, which I am not entirely sure. Let me do something here. Shift F10. Let's bring out some stone. Let's do 1,000 stone. Let's do 10,000 stone. No, let's do 1,000 stone. Okay. Shift F10. Stone. Spawn into targeted container. Spawn into targeted container. Okay. So the main benefit of getting a basic refinery over a survival kit is the basic refinery will automatically refine anything that gets put into it. So that's one step you don't have to worry about. However, the survival kit, on the other hand, you still have to do the ingots, which we're going to do 3,000 ingots and let that roll. This goes slower than the basic assembler, the basic refinery. However, it gives us more materials overall. So, this finished up the stone. It gave us 30 iron. This is for per 1,000. Gave us 30 iron, 2.4 nickel, and 4 silicon. Okay, keep that in mind. This, what's this? What is this? Hide empty. Okay, so the basic refinery gave us less iron. So this had 1,000 stone in it, 1,000 stone. Gave us less of everything here. So it gave us 21 iron ingots compared to 30. Gave us 1.68 nickel compared to 2.4. Gave us 2.8 silicon compared to 4. And 9.8 gravel compared to 14. So keep that in mind. Let me pop over to my calculator here again. So what's we got? We got so about 30% of our materials have just gone poof. 2.4. Oh, hold on. No, I was right. I was right before. So 1.68, 2.4. So 30%. About 30% of our materials have gone away, because this is only giving us 70% of our materials. The basic refinery. So keep that in mind. Do not go directly to the basic refinery immediately, because it's just going to eat up 30% of all the stone you put in there. The only reason you want the basic refinery is when you start refining the more advanced things like cobalt, magnesium, basic other materials like basic nickel, basic silicon, etc. Silicon ore, nickel ore, iron ore, etc. Do not use it for stone. Absolutely do not use it for stone. You will lose 30% of your materials, and it will take you 30% longer to get to your rover. keep that in mind. Anyway, I am going to end this video here because this has probably gone on a lot longer than I intended. This is the basics of starting out. Please help me out. Hit that subscribe button. Check out my other videos. Subscribe, like, comment, stuff like that. Hopefully this was helpful. And I will see you guys in the next one. Ciao.